This is Getting Past It, where real life meets real growth. I'm JR, and in 10 minutes or less, we're tackling thoughts, habits, and truths that hold us back. Let's get past it together.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy JR, host of Getting Past It, the podcast. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today's going to be a little bit different because it's gonna be more of us just talking. Um, but I'm gonna be in my feelings for a little bit, so bear with me. So first and foremost, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a theologian, I'm none of those things, although I have them throughout my family. I can't quote scripture with the best of them. No, I cannot. I know a few. And yes, I do read the Bible. And although, as I say, I'm not a pastor or any of those things, I do know that God is real and ever present. And I know God tends to be a interesting topic for a lot of folks, but I can only speak for um, how He's shown up for me and the things that I've seen that He has done in my life, the way He's shown up in my time of need, in my family's time of need, or in difficult situations that allow me to know He's real and that things don't just happen by chance. And so I want to take a few moments to talk about this past weekend. Um, it was tough. It was extremely tough. So on Friday evening, my wife and I were hanging out, just kicking it like we do, watching the movie. It was probably around 10:30, 11, where we get a phone call from my son's roommate, and huge thanks to him, an 18-year-old who is calm, collected, uh, present, forward thinking, and has the ability to remain calm in a situation where most people would be frantic. So on Friday night, my son was in his dorm room with his roommate. He was getting ready to take his medicine, and his roommate said, he heard a thud, and when he looked, my son was on the floor having a seizure. And so his roommate Chris, shout outs to Chris, um, had the wherewithal to immediately reach out and call 911 to get instructions on what he needed to do. He also alerted the people at the school to make them aware. And then he called us to make us aware. He did all of this within minutes of each other. So he was very timely in his reaction. So he was timely enough that we were able to be on the phone with 911 while he was speaking with them, and we were able to provide like his medical history and all of those different things. So the paramedics would be aware of all situations as they were providing him care. He stayed super calm, gave us all the details, what he saw, what he did, kept us in the loop. And then, when they transported my son to the hospital via ambulance, him and a few of their friends went with him. They kept us updated as we were traveling because where he goes to college and where we live, there's about an hour and a half difference. So they kept us up to date as we were traveling on where they were, what they knew, and also just letting us know that he wasn't alone. They also let us know that there was only two people allowed in the back, and hey, just let us know as soon as you get here. We'll come out so you guys can come in. Forever grateful for his quick reaction. And so we get up there, get to the hospital. We're trying to figure out what the situation is. And they're testing and doing different things. My son's in the room. He's not looking like himself. So, me and his mom are super nervous. Um, but on the ride, a couple different things happened. One, I prayed. Definitely had to get in contact with the man upstairs. And although he already knew I needed that lifeline, I needed to make that spiritual phone call to have that conversation. But then my wife immediately began calling all the prayer warriors. So, she called my mother, gave her the situation. And my mother, before we even got off the phone, my mother started praying. She called her mother, told her the situation. She began to pray. We reached out to other loved ones who we felt like needed to be in the know about the situation. And a lot of times, people, what can we do? What can we do? How can we help? And in these situations, you don't know how anybody can help because you feel helpless. So essentially, the only ask that I had was just pray. Pray that the doctors who are working with him guide them in the right way, right? Guide them to the source of the issue so they can fix it. Guide their hands. Make sure their hands are steady while they're working on my child. Make sure their minds are focused and in the right place. Make sure my son is in the right place. And I say all those things to say that when things get tough, like I told y'all before in prior episodes, you gotta lean in. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But in a lot of situations, the way God had that ram in the bush for Abraham, he'll have one in the bush for you too. And so we tried to lean into our faith. We tried to lean into prayer. We tried to lean in, not even try, we leaned into those things. And tried to maintain a positive outlook because your mind can so quickly begin to think about all of the negative things that can happen, right? When somebody has a seizure, all of the lingering effects, the impact on the body, the impact on the brain, and that is just, it's scary in itself. But the one thing that I am thankful for is that God has blessed me with a spirit of calmness, and a spirit of belief. So even in the most difficult situations, I remain pretty even if I'm freaking out internally. But on the surface, I feel like I remain pretty even, which allows me to provide stability and support for my family as we're dealing with difficult times. But it's hard. And it can feel like somebody is just squeezing and wringing on your heart and on your emotions, and you're trying to keep it together. And it becomes difficult to think. It can become difficult to breathe. It can just be difficult in general. And I just think about, some things I used to hear when I was going to church every Sunday. Pastors say, I heard my mother and my grandmother say it, rest in the Lord. And it's hard to do that because you want to be in control of the situation. You want to be able to fix whatever the issue might be. You want to be able to put your hands on your child and take whatever pain there might be away. In a lot of situations, as a parent, you can't. So you have to be that physical presence of love and support and care. And while you're focused on them, you're also going through some things because now internally you're feeling all that pressure, all that stress, all of that emotion. And you have to lean somewhere to get through it. And yes, you can lean on family and friends, but none of their shoulders are strong enough. So while they can be there to help support you, you got to lean on the source. I mean, it can get tough. It can get very difficult. And then you start getting the phone calls. And those things are helpful because you know people care. You know people are praying. But you don't know what to say, right? And then after a while, you feel like you're telling the same story over and over and over. And it can be a lot, but you know people just want to know how they can help. But in a lot of situations, you don't know how they can help. You don't know what they can do. And a lot of times there's nothing that they can do except for just be there to offer, excuse me, a lending ear and to be supportive of what you're going through, to give you a physical hug, embrace, to help you feel that warmth, the comfort, and the love. But they can't fix it. They can't fix it at all. And so you have to trust, you have to believe, you have to have faith, and you have to lean into that wholeheartedly. And you have to keep your mind in the right mental space. You got to have what they call faith of a mustard seed, right? And a lot of times when these situations occur in my life, I am thankful that I grew up in the praying household, that I grew up in the household where I was, made to go to church every Sunday because it helped me build a strong foundation. It helped me understand the power of prayer. It helped me understand that some things are outside of my control, regardless of how much I want to control them. It gives me a spirit of thankfulness and also understanding. I used to think a lot of things were luck or chance. And I had to reframe how I viewed those things because it's not luck and it's not chance. It's blessings, right? It's God's healing power. It's Him doing what He said He would do. It's Him taking care of His children. And only He knows what plans He has for our lives and where we're going and what, will become and all of those different things. But I believe that when your heart and your spirit is in the right alignment, and even when it's not, He shows up. And I'm not talking about being perfect, right? Because none of us are. I'm far from perfect. I'm a sinner just like you. I have my own missteps and things that I struggle with. We all do. But I also believe that the way you live your life, the grace that you give, the way you show up for people, those things come back, right? To you. And sometimes they come in your most trying situations. And it helps you realize that a couple things. One, as much control as we think we have over this thing that we call life. Yes, we have some control, but we really don't. Right? We don't have a lot of control. Life happens regardless of what you do. Life will occur and you just have to deal with it. You have to find your way to maneuver through and around the obstacles that life will throw at you. And it's hard to do that alone. So when you lean on God and you lean on the source, He can help guide you through those moments. And a lot of times it's for me, I'm speaking for me. So when I'm reading the Bible and I go through difficult situations, I feel like my eyes are more open to the different avenues that he's giving me to go. The different escape routes. Um the different ways to navigate the situation for a better outcome. I also wholeheartedly know that he answers prayer. Like that's not something that can be debated with me. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I have over the years of my life watched him answer so many of my prayers and so many of other people's. But the one thing that we have to do is take a step back sometimes, because he will answer our prayers, but it won't look like what we thought it should. What do I mean by that? Hold on for just a second. I'm back. My dog was over there messing with the camera. Um, I think he wants some screen time, but we not doing that today. But he made me lose my thought. Where was I going? Just be prayerful and understand that things aren't luck. They're blessings. It's God showing up in your life. Take a step back and think about the things that you have prayed for, the things that you've asked for, and the changes that have occurred in your life. And sometimes you got to peel that onion back to understand that it was actually God answering your prayer. Because most of the time it does not look like we intended for it to look. It looks very different. But when you actually take a step back and you look at what's changed, it's exactly what you've asked for. But it might not be in the same packaging. Right? And so I prayed for numerous things. I remember at one point I prayed for my wife to lean on me more, right? For me to be more of the person that she came to when she had certain situations. And what did God do? God picked us up and moved us to a whole nother state where it was just me and her. And when things got tough, we leaned on him and we leaned on each other because we didn't have anybody else around us. We had friends and things of that nature, but it brought us much closer. But it wasn't until I took a step back, because I didn't envision it being a move. I just envisioned us getting closer, tighter, and dependent on each other more. But basically what he did was, hey, I'm going to move you from around all of this support, and I'm going to put you over here. And it's just y'all. And now y'all have to figure it out. Y'all have to build and grow together. And it wasn't until I took a step back and really paid attention that I was like, he gave me exactly what I asked for, but it didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. And that's the thing we have to understand, right? And so even in this situation with my son, we prayed and we prayed, and he answered that prayer. And sometimes even when the prayer is answered, there's still questions, right? That the doctors have to figure out and things of that nature. But my child is here. He's alive. He's well. All of his tests came back good. And I'm eternally thankful. I am grateful for the blessings that have been bestowed upon my family and the healing power that God has worked on my son. For him to still be of sane mind, body, and spirit, to still have that want to go, hey, I want to go back to my dorm room. I got class next week. The resiliency, all of that stuff is super important, super impactful. And I'm learning through my son what some of that stuff looks like. Watching his faith, watching how he handles situations, watching his growth, how he's getting closer to God, the relationship that he has, but also the relationship that we're building as a family with God, right? And the openness that we have with each other. And so when things get difficult, get closer. Don't pull away, don't shy away. This thing we call life is hard, it's challenging, it can be extremely difficult. And we never know what the next minute's gonna look like, as much as we think we do. But God is a healing God. He's a provider. He's a prayer answerer. I talk to him daily. There's numerous things that I need to be better at. And so even if you feel like you are not on the right path, don't wait for tomorrow. I'm not telling you you got to go to church every Sunday. I'm not telling you any of those things. But what I am telling you is build a relationship. Pray. Read the Bible. I'm not saying you got to read it every day. I read it, but not every day. I'm working on my consistency in that way. But what I can tell you is every day that I open the Bible and read anything in it, I'm better for it. And the other thing is that a lot of times we expect Christians or people who believe in God to be perfect. But when you look in the Bible, the people that Jesus did life with were not perfect at all. They say he uses imperfect people for his perfect purpose. And each of us have a purpose in this life. There is something for each of us to do. There is an assignment that we have all been given to fulfill. Everybody does not reach their purpose. Everybody does not find it. But we all have one. Are you searching for what yours is? Because it's there. And once you can put your finger on it, once you can pinpoint what that thing is, it's powerful. Like for me, I'm trying to figure out what mine's is. But I think mine's, like, I'm very good at listening. I've been told I'm a good orator. And I think it has something to do in that space. But I'm still figuring out the details. And so it's not always easy to see. Don't take my words or don't mistake what I'm saying to make you think that it's an easy thing to do. Because we all struggle to find what our purpose is. Let me not say we all. Some people are blessed enough to know exactly what it is. But most of us have searching to do. But I challenge y'all to pick up the Bible, even if you don't believe in it. Pick it up and read it. Read it like it's a regular book. Just sometimes randomly open it to, like, I'll just flip it open and say wherever it lands is what I'm going to read. And I challenge you to do that, and do that. If you can do it daily, do it daily. A couple times a week, cool. Once a week, cool. But as you do that, I want you to start thinking about how your mindset shifts. I want you to pay attention to when you find yourself in trying situations. Pay attention to how some things open up, how some things crystallize, how some things come to the forefront of your mind, and how those are things that help you get through or deter you or help you get out of a situation that can go wrong. And once you identify those things, now it's up to you to take that door, right? Um, he gives you the door, but he still leaves you with the choice of whether or not you decide to walk through it. And that is up to you. And that is when it comes back to the free will aspect. But with that said, as difficult as this weekend was, I'm thankful for the blessings. I'm thankful for life. I'm extremely thankful for God. I'm thankful for the people he's put in our lives. And I'm thankful for all of you who even took a few moments to listen to my voice. I'm JR, host of Getting Past It, the podcast. For everybody going through something difficult, I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for you. And I hope you have good people around you. Keep a positive outlook in the difficult times, because that helps you get through them. But with that said, I'm out of here. It's JR, host of Getting Past It, the podcast. I hope y'all have a blessed week, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, because we have a ton to be thankful for. Even if it's just waking up and being able to breathe, we have a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Again, a wonderful week. Happy Thanksgiving. Go be great. And don't let life beat you up, even when it's throwing punches. Bob, weave, duck. But remember that God and the Bible are your shield in those difficult moments. Peace.